Does a bigger house mean a better life? More space, more luxury, more success? But what if that's not always true? Because as homes have grown larger, many of us have discovered that more space does not necessarily equate to more happiness. On today's episode of Homes Explained, we're exploring all the hidden costs of bigger homes. Since the 1970s, American homes have more than doubled in size, and today the average American has around 940 square foot of living space compared to 550 in 1973. Yet a recent survey discovered that average life satisfaction has not only failed to improve since the 1970s, in many cases it's actually declined. So all that extra space seems to come at a high cost. Of course, larger homes cost more money to buy initially, but that's just the beginning, because bigger homes have higher property taxes, insurance premiums, utility bills, and maintenance costs. There are more windows to replace, larger roofs to maintain, and more rooms to furnish. And then there are the costs that we don't always think about to begin with. A larger home may mean moving to a more affluent neighbourhood with a whole different set of expectations. The cars may be nicer, the schools might be private, and the vacations are far more elaborate. Humans naturally compare themselves to those around them, so even as our homes become larger, we may not necessarily feel any wealthier. In fact, you can sometimes feel as though you're falling behind, because once you've built a lifestyle around a large home, whatever is funding it, whether it's salary, business, investments, it had better keep on producing. Because the larger house doesn't just raise the cost of housing, it can quietly raise the cost of your entire life. But bigger homes don't just cost more money, they also create more hassle. Because the reality is that houses break, roofs wear out, HVAC systems fail, appliances stop working, and the larger the house, the more there is to maintain. In fact, larger and more luxurious homes are often filled with highly sophisticated systems. Multiple HVAC units, smart home technology, pools, home theatres, and automated features. When these amenities are working, they're wonderful, but when they're not, someone has to fix them. And every repair, every contractor visit isn't just money, but also attention. The hidden cost of a larger home isn't simply financial, but the mental burden of keeping it all running. When buying a home, we often purchase it for the life we imagine ourselves living in the future. The home theatre we'll enjoy every weekend, the sauna we'll look forward to every evening after a long day at work, the guest suite for visiting friends and family, and the basement with all those ideas as to how to finish it out. But life has a habit of getting in the way. And while the kitchen becomes the centre of family life and the family room gets used every evening, the formal dining room sits empty for months. The home theatre goes unwatched, and the guest rooms sit patiently waiting for guests that never arrive. The reality is that most homeowners in these large properties end up using a fraction of the square footage of the property. You can only be in one room at one time, and empty rooms can create a quiet sense of guilt. Every one of the spaces had to be built, furnished, heated, cooled, and maintained. And when a room sits unused, it can begin to feel a lot less like a luxury and more like a giant waste of money. But perhaps the most important spaces in our homes aren't the ones we use, but the ones that we share. As homes have grown much bigger, family members have been able to live increasingly independent lives, all under the same roof. Children retreat to basement games rooms and upstairs bedrooms. Parents disappear into home offices or media rooms. Everyone has their own screen, their own schedule, their own corner of the house. Now, of course, privacy definitely has its benefits, but distance can also change behaviour. The farther apart we are, the fewer interactions we have, fewer evenings spent together in the same room, and over time, even small reductions in daily interactions can add up. But this is the paradox, that at no previous point in history have we had as much personal square footage as we currently have right now. Yet loneliness has become one of the defining social challenges of our time. Now, I'm not trying to suggest that large homes are inherently bad, nor am I making an argument that smaller homes are somehow morally superior. A home's value should never be measured purely in the square footage, but as with so many things in life, more isn't always better. At some point, the financial costs, the social pressures, the maintenance demands, and the mental burden of a larger home can make it feel less like luxury and more like a burden. Perhaps the real luxury isn't owning the largest house you can possibly afford, but owning a house that fits your life well, where every room has a purpose, every space is lived in, and the home serves you rather than the other way round. Because when it comes to houses, as in life, be careful what you wish for. Thanks so much for watching today. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this topic, and don't forget to join me next week for more Homes Explained.